Okay. Now we're in the studio, y'all. So I was first of all, hey everybody. Let me get myself situated. I'm not even situated the way I like to be, really. But it's fine. All right. Anyway, y'all, we are here and we are live. We are talking the Love and Marriage Detroit season 1. I think it's episode 11, y'all. Part 1 of the reunion. Okay, we're gonna get into it. First of all, if you are new here, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, get in the chat. The only way this becomes kind of fun is if y'all engage in the chat, but either way, we're gonna have fun. And then if you're in the replay crew, comment down below, let me know what you thought of the reunion part 1. Okay, so we are going to get started. Like I said, I was just checking the chat and everything. Let me just scoot one little thing over. At least I did. So y'all, I did good this time. Make sure I went live on YouTube, but then I didn't add myself to the broadcast. So I almost got it. Anyway, we here. For those of you who were expecting the 6 o'clock, I did push it back to 6:30 because I watched the episode earlier. Today was the first day I actually watched the episode, y'all, because it's Labor Day weekend, okay? And I was trying to enjoy my Labor Day weekend. Okay, so I wasn't checking for Love and Marriage Detroit like that. But so that's why I had told y'all previously, I wouldn't know if I would do the video tomorrow or not, but I had time today, so I said, why not squeeze it in today, right? So I just needed extra time to rewatch it because I watched it once, got a little sleepy, took a nap, then I woke up. I was like, let me get myself together. And then I was like, okay, let me rewatch it so I could be ready. Okay. I just want to make sure that everyone is here and with me. I forgot to do one thing, but I'm gonna keep talking. I ain't gonna be sitting here playing on the phone. Okay. Let me know what y'all thought of this reunion. First of all, I will say off the back, for their first reunion, I'll give them a B plus. Okay, first reunion, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to expect. They're new to this, not true to this, like the Love Marriage Huntsville people. Okay, so in DC, they about to have their second reunion. Whenever the hell we gonna get that, Carlos King? When is the reunion? But nevertheless, I will say it wasn't terrible. I think part 2 will definitely be much better than part 1. At least I'm hoping so, because part 1 didn't live up to the hype that they made it like it was going to be, in my opinion. Like, I was expecting a little bit more than what we were given. So I will say that part made it a little disappointing for me. I just was expecting a tad bit more, but it was cool. Like I said, maybe part 2 will be better. I love the beginning part when Carlos King goes into everybody's room. Okay, so y'all know that's how we started reunion. He goes to everybody's room and he's talking his junk, and he's talking about what the people doing and all that. Oh, some people was in the chat. Oh my gosh, I feel so special. um, hey y'all, let me say hey on the thing. So he went to Christina and Brandon's room being messy. They was ready to get it started. Brandon, thank you for cutting your man bun because you look much better without it. Like, that's not your look. The look he had at the reunion need to stay his look, because that man bun it wasn't giving what needed to be gave. So he looked good. He cleaned up nice. I loved Christina's bob look, and her dress was real classy. Christina had braces. I never noticed them braces on her. I'm sorry. I never noticed them braces. But yeah, I guess she got her braces off. Hey, Shayna. Hey, JB. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate that so much. Um, yeah, so they look good. They ready to get the mess started. I'm sorry. Then they went to Kobe. He went to Kobe in Russell's room. He called him Superman. He trying to arm wrestle him. Kobe looked mean. Like she looked like snarled up in the face or something. I was like, she had a chip on her shoulder. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I was like, girl, fix your face. What is wrong with you? So I wasn't really feeling that look at all. I'm trying to read the comments. Let me make this bigger where I can see it. Okay. Um oh, JB said should have been one and done. Yes, it should have. Okay. And then Shayna said she's loving uh the variety. Okay. Thank you, girl. Um so yeah, as I say, Russell and Kobe. Kobe looked like she was just going through something. Like she was just mad. She was looking mean. She looked mean. Okay. Her dress was cool. We gonna get into looks in a second. And then he went to Dr. Latoya and Anthony's room. And Anthony said they killing him on Twitter, basically. That's not the words he said, basically, like they dragging him. And so Carlos did tell him he was a messy man, like, he be getting it popping. And he does. Anywho, what else I was gonna say? Dr. Latoya looked good. Okay, so let's get into the looks. Dr. Latoya, I will say I like that dress on her mainly because that's not a typical look we would expect from her. So I really felt like, she kind of ate the girls up with her look. She kind of ate the girls up. Her and Christina, in my opinion, had the best outfits. Kobe's dress, I could have take it or leave it. The men look fine. I didn't like Brandon and them white sneakers. Why are you wearing white sneakers? Like, why are you wearing white sneakers at the reunion? Like, this don't make no sense. Why are you wearing white sneakers at the reunion? Like, wear some dress shoes, sir. Please wear some dress shoes. So I didn't like that. I'm trying to post this video real quick, y'all. So I'm multitasking. This is something else I forgot to do earlier. This is what happens when you take a nap and you really shouldn't be taking a nap. Okay. This is what happens. But anyway, I had to get my rest. Okay, we gotta go back to work tomorrow. Who gotta go back to work tomorrow? First of all, ain't that a bummer? But yeah. Anyway, back to the reunion. We ain't talking about work. um, what do you say? Brandon looks. Oh yes, minus the bun. Yes, minus the bun. She said living vicariously. Oh, you had to work today, Shayna. Oh, that sucks. But no, I gotta go back in the morning. Yeah, back to the reunion. Okay, everybody, I talked about the looks. The men, they got their men outfits on. Anthony always looks stuffed in his suits to me. He look like he need to breathe more. Like they too small. Like, when you think you one size, but you really another size, that's what Anthony be giving in his suits. Like I do that sometimes, okay? I don't be want to live in the truth of my size. I get it. Anyway, okay, so Carlos said, they back, we on the stage now. Okay. He, said hey to everybody. He said he been dying to do this franchise in the city he grew up in. Okay, Detroit, what up, though? All that good stuff. Okay. So he did commend Christina and Brandon for really bringing their true lives to the show. I think that was a hint, because they were the only ones at least that kind of gave a little something, something, and the rest of them kind of felt like they weren't really giving. I honestly feel like the whole cast wasn't really giving if they're all like they could have gave a bit more, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I will also say that if anybody was the most transparent, though, I would say maybe it was Christina and Brandon. Yeah. So anywho, then we had Carlos talking to them about their marriage and everything they went through on the show. So they showed a little package, and Brandon said it helped to see himself on the show, like seeing that third party. He didn't know how he was acting until he saw himself on the show. He said it really helped their marriage, helped to save their marriage because they were going through some hard times. He said, to all them people on Twitter, all the haters and stuff saying, they supposed to get a divorce and all that, he's shutting them down. Now, I don't remember if I said that on Twitter or not. I could have because I be talking my junk, making my jokes. So maybe I did. I don't know. Sorry, Brandon. But it wasn't looking good for them. Okay. Um, anyway, Brandon was trying to say like Christina should have saw how she was acting too, because she could be a bit much and overbearing. But she was saying like, oh well, you act like I'm just blowing smoke, and now you can see how you really are. And she felt like she being the way she is because she has to. I feel like Christina did do a bit much at times. She just was a little bit. I don't know if the word is like whiny or what the word is, but she was a bit extra. She was extra, like they said. She definitely was extra. So anyway, then somehow Carlos got on topic of, how Brandon was talking to somebody else and he had an emotional affair, and people were trying to say it was a physical thing. I still think it was physical because when Carlos asked him in that moment and he said no, and then he was like, and he cleared his throat. It just screamed lie for me. Okay. Let me know if y'all thought he was lying, but it screamed lie for me. But anyway, then he was talking about like the stuff he was saying to the artist and how he really had to get to know the artist. So then he was saying, I think Carlos asked him, was it an emotional affair for him? But I think he said no. But how was it not? I don't get it. Then he asked Christina, and he asked Christina. It was edited weird because it was like Carlos was jumping a question to question before they could answer. I don't know if it was chopped and screwed weirdly, but he asked Christina like, what did he say to on the text messages to the other girl? Like, what was he saying? And so she was like trying to think about it. I feel like she was trying to think of something decent to say that wouldn't embarrass her. Like, that's the one part I feel like they were kind of holding back. I wish she would have said more. Granted, maybe we don't know how long ago this text message debacle was and how long ago that was going on. So maybe she really couldn't remember it. Maybe she tried to put that in a far, far away memory, okay, because it hurt. But I feel like she could have gave a little bit more than he said he don't like me and that hurt and all that. Like, we know he didn't like you, girl. We could tell on screen he didn't like you. That's obviously what's given. He don't like you. So he could say more, in my opinion. Then Carlos was like, how did you feel when you saw the scene with Brandon working with his new artist, Naja, that you know nothing about? And he called you, or you called him on that broken iPhone screen, and he was giving you that attitude. Now I said, Carlos, why'd you have to point out his broken iPhone? And I missed that. I didn't even notice his phone was broken. So now I got to go back and watch it, or I forgot. Anyway, she said that didn't surprise her because of how he was, but it did surprise her that he had a new artist, because like they were trying to build and that's taking away time for them growing and all that good stuff. Okay. So they kind of moved on and wrapped that subject up. Carlos somehow ended up asking Dr. Latoya, is reality TV harder than medical school? And she said it is, definitely is. Okay, so then we got to Dr. Latoya and Anthony's whole thing about that stupid Atlanta trip. Some of this stuff they was rehashing, and I was like, this is not even really worth rehashing. And I'll say one thing I didn't like about this reunion is that we didn't get any new information, really. There was no new developments. Like, normally in a reunion, you get some new tea. You get like what was really going on, but we didn't really get that. So that was another thing that was a disappointment for me. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat and the comments. Speaking of the chat, let me get back to it because I gotta read the chat. Let's see. Oh, Shayna says she was off. Okay, this was okay. My bad. You was off. Oh, you gotta go back to work tomorrow. I'm sorry. Wait, what? The mini what? Oh, the mini, the socks, and the makeup was off. Yeah, what's his name? Russell looked like he didn't have no socks on. I was trying to figure that out. I was like, maybe he got the little ankle socks on. That's what I was trying to figure out. That's what it was, JB. The reunion felt all over the place. That's what it was. It was like jumping. I was like, where's the answer to this? Where's the answer to that? Like, it definitely felt all over the place. So we was talking about Atlanta, right? Dr. Latoya and Anthony. So Anthony, like he told us on the show, he went to go work for Disney, Marvel, and all that. He was gone for 7 months. He had a house. Okay. His thing, they played that package. Dr. Latoya was talking about how the kids were in school and how they were dealing with the racism when they went back after COVID and how it was hard. And during COVID, she was working in the hospital. Okay, so I'm thinking what she meant is because she said she's a sports physical therapist, so I think she typically wouldn't be in that hospital setting, but because it was COVID, she probably, because she's a first responder, probably got called in to help out with the health crisis. So I'm thinking that's why it was so stressful and heightened for her. Not that it wouldn't be anyway for anybody, and especially a doctor, but I'm thinking she probably got pulled in to jump in and help out as a first responder when it came to the pandemic. Which is amazing that she did that. But she said it was a hard time, and it was hard because Anthony was off in Atlanta doing what he was doing, and so he said it was an opportunity to make a lot of money, and he felt like he supported her dreams, and they had did that before where I guess they both, I thinking while she was in medical school or something like that, he said that they were going back and forth between Detroit and Miami, and he was holding it down, so he thought it would be the same, and she just felt like he didn't really like think it through and talk it over, and so he said he couldn't see past it being an opportunity for him at the time was his issue. And so even Carlos kind of got into Anthony a little bit with his questioning. I do like the way Carlos asks questions. I do like that. And he was like, so while your wife is dealing with COVID, first responder, having to deal with this stuff, but you ran off to Atlanta. And so then Dr. Latoya tried to jump to his rescue and say, like, oh, well, I think, if I know him, he was thinking that, I would support him in the way he supported me and blah, blah, blah. But to me, it's not the same. That's not the same. Like him supporting your wine and you being a doctor is not the same as him. He already has this business he claims to have in Detroit, and he makes all this money, and then he's gonna run down to Atlanta and do Disney and Marvel. That's not the same thing. Not the same. No. So then Carlos talked about how a lot of Detroit men think like they only got to provide a lot of financial support. And I think that's a lot of men, not just Detroit. I think some men think like only their financial support is the main support we need, and we need much more than that, obviously. So he asked how much money did Anthony put up for the opulence wine. He said 150,000. And Latoya says she put up 50,000 of her own money. My thing is, if they married, isn't that both of their money? Like, I didn't get that part. And what the need of was like playing whose wallet was bigger at the time. Like, y'all married at the end of the day, so that's 200,000 to both of y'all, and the wine company is both of y'all's. But that's just my opinion. Carlos did make some comments on the show about how a lot of people are saying, oh, well, some people are learning from the show or feel like they could resonate with it because their marriage might be going through similar things. And then he also talked about criticism of y'all criticizing him. Nah, I was too. And saying like, oh, if this is marriage, this is not one I want. He was like, well, y'all in y'all 20s anyway, and y'all might have some good men, but y'all worrying about other stuff. He was talking junk about all the criticizers and all the haters, and saying like, the show really is a good way to learn. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. Okay, because some of it, most of it, especially on this show, is BS. I did like Jamie and Arena Tyler's marriage on Love and Marriage Detroit. That was like real for, in my opinion, that was like the realest marriage. And maybe DJ Quick and Ashley, maybe, but like the rest of them, they can go. The Scots down in Huntsville, we sure ain't got nothing from the Holtz, but except how to get somebody having a baby on you and how long you gonna stay to deal with it. That's what we got over there. But other than that, yeah, it's nothing. Anyway, then the final segment is we went into the Kobe Cat thing, which I feel like, why are we gonna waste time? Like every time Brandon says Kobe Cat, I crack up. Like the comment is funny to me. Okay, I thought it was entertaining. I took it as a joke. Like it was not that deep that this girl need to feel offended for a lifetime about it. Like what is the problem? Like I need Kobe to really get over it because it's really not that deep at all. It's not that deep. So anyway, I was checking the chat real quick. Anywho, they bring up the whole thing about them being both influencers. I think they played a package. They showed their pictures. And Kobe and Christina be doing the same stuff at the same time. Okay, it is what it is. They do the same stuff at the same time. They literally do. Um, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, they literally wore the same outfits to two different events that they weren't at. Like that's just what they do. They gonna do the same stuff. We gonna all just us YouTube people. We gonna all do similar stuff. Okay, it's not no one's recreating the wheel over here. So like let it go. Anywho, Carlos did ask Kobe or Brandon, where did he get that comment from? He said he's not that observant. And so basically he said Christina had said these things, but like she basically wasn't gonna say it on her own. And so Carlos asked Christina, like, you being quiet as a church mouse over there, are these things you said? And she said she said it, but not the way Brandon said it, like in that kind of like attitude way. But it doesn't matter, but you said it. And why Brandon throwing Christina under the bus? Like, I thought y'all grew in your marriage and you're at this better place, because I feel like that's kind of rude for Brandon to even bring up that, yeah, Christina was basically saying you copying her, Kobe. Like, damn, like y'all supposed to be in a unit. You supposed to deny, deny, deny. Okay. Anyway, they got on the whole thing with the influencers. Kobe said she ain't Lil Kobe, she Big Kobe. I was like, well, who Lil Kobe? Because you the only Kobe we know, unless the baby name is Kobe. I don't know. Anyway, she said, oh, Carlos asked, do you have more followers than Christina? Do you feel like you're bigger? She does have more followers, she said, and I believe somebody had confirmed that. I don't remember if it was you, JB, or who on their channel had looked up who had the most followers. And turns out Colby does have more followers than Christina. She says she ain't new to this. She true to this. She said that Detroit is a small city, especially for content creators. And so, there's everyone's trying to grow and make room for each other, which is true, whatever. So then everybody started going back and forth, and it just got into like, what are we even arguing about here again? They talked about the Harper Ray thing, and I could see it from both sides. So Kobe was saying like, okay, Christina, you never communicated, and I see, you're doing your thing with Harper Ray. It wasn't a thing of I was trying to jump in on your existing thing. I didn't. She said she didn't know she already had a thing going. Christina said she already had a deal with Harper Ray, so that's why she said she was confused about the text message, and she didn't know if Kobe was like trying to get in on an existing thing, or if Harper Ray was saying like that's what they should do, and if it was coming from Harper Ray. So she said she wanted to talk to Julie, I think was the lady's name, about it herself. I feel like there's a lot of confusion from Julie, and we need to hear down from Julie. Like, Julie, could you come down to the reunion, please, and let us know? Oh, my clothes are done in the dryer, y'all. Anyway, so Christina, Colby's thing is like, I wish, she's like, I don't know if you were just basically saying you didn't want to work with me and that was it. And you could have just said that. Now you could have said, Colby, you doing too much, and I would have fell back. And I wish Christina would have said, Colby, you doing too much and you need to fall back. Because that's essentially what it was. What it was is Christina already had a deal with Harper Ray. So when Colby's texting about Harper Ray, Christina's feeling like, girl, I already got it. Like, I don't need to. Well, I'm gonna collaborate if I already got it going on. So, which I get Christina's point. I wish Christina would have clearly said, hey, I already have a deal with Harper Ray, but maybe we could collaborate on something next time. And then it could have been a done deal. We ain't even gotta have this conversation, but that's, we gonna make TV, whatever. Kobe was saying that's why she wanted to, have the conversation. Christina wanted to have the conversation in person. Then we got on the whole thing with somehow Dr. Latoya got in it, and they asked how Dr. Latoya felt because she was feeling like everybody was being fake. Christina feels like she was saying that directly to her. Carlos asked Kobe, do you feel like, Christina be doing too much or putting on for the camera? She said yes. Dr. Latoya agreed with that. They said Christina be kind of putting on for the cameras. They said Christina would like switch conversations up in the middle of filming. I could kind of see that. So then they were talking about Kobe and Dr. Latoya basically feel like Christina plays victim a lot. Dr. Latoya says she plays victim in her marriage. Kobe felt like she was playing victim with some things, and she told Chelsea, one of them Chelsea's, Chelsea B, Chelsea V, whichever Chelsea, I don't know which Chelsea it was. Why are you calling Kobe when Kobe's the one who was going off on you? And so Christina was like, yeah, I said that because you were the one yelling at me, and I was just trying to have like a monotone conversation with you, like an even kill, not all the rah rah rah. And Kobe, she was going off on her. Kobe was like, I was going off on you because you said we're like sisters, and yet you didn't even call me and talk about this, so that's why I was going off on you. Now, I don't feel like the way Kobe was going off, like it wasn't cause for all that. We didn't need all that. Dr. Latoya was like, oh, you can't tell somebody how to react. But Dr. Latoya talking out of both sides of her mouth, because in one breath you're saying you can't tell somebody how to react, but the same breath you're saying you don't like when people are all on the rah 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 and having the drama. Kobe was the main one getting loud and causing the drama. So which one is it, Dr. Latoya? Make it make sense. Um, my thing is, I get Kobe is very passionate, but it wasn't that deep. Now, I can see if Kobe feels like, dang, like I'm out here being an influencer and they're not taking me seriously and they're calling me a copycat. Like, I could see that feeling making you feel some type of way. Like, I could definitely see how that would make somebody feel some type of way. And I'm not, taking away from that feeling she might have had, but it just wasn't that deep. It just really wasn't that deep. So, anywho, um, then they were talking about how they're supposed to be sisters, and Kobe says she got younger brothers. She don't have any sisters, so for her to call Christina her older sister, that really meant something. She says she hadn't talked to Christina since filming stopped. They're trying to. Christina says she doesn't want to have any bad feelings with Kobe, and everybody knew that. Even the producers knew that. And I try to protect Kobe, and she started getting emotional. And I was like, "Girl, why are you crying?" And then she was like, "Yeah, I try to protect Kobe, and people wanted me to come at Kobe, and I didn't want to come at Kobe." And I was like, who wanted her to come at Kobe? Because that's not what I got. Like, based on Twitter and what I saw on social media, I didn't see nobody wanting that. Actually, a lot of people liked Kobe more than Christina, mostly in the beginning anyway. So I don't know. I never wanted that. I don't know. Nor do I care. Because I'm tired of this stupid drama. So anyway, then I think Carlos asked about Dr. Latoya taking Kobe. Does Christina feel like Dr. Latoya always takes Kobe's side? And she says she feels like she does, especially when she was like, she doesn't do all the fakeness and all the drama and rah rah rah. And so then I guess they were trying to like judo mind trick us and make us think that she meant everybody and she wasn't just talking about Christina. But Christina was like, well, Kobe left, and I was the only one sitting there, and you looked at me and said it, so that's why I felt that way. And so she's like, no, I was talking about everybody. And Kobe was co-signing. And I'm like, And Dr. Toya said she stressed that she was talking about everybody. But it did seem like she was talking about Christina to me. I don't know. So anyway, then, they were just going back and forth. And so Carlos asked Christina, do you feel like Dr. Latoya doesn't like you? And she was like, no, she does feel like she doesn't like her. And she's like, well, no, I would say that she doesn't like me or dislike me. There's just something about me she doesn't like. He asked Dr. Toya, do you like Christina? And she's like, I don't have a problem with Christina. She's like, do you like Christina? She's like, yes, I like Christina. I don't have no issues against Christina. I'm like, girl, that means you don't like her. I think Dr. Latoya does not respect Christina. That's what I think it is. She doesn't respect her. Okay. And then she was like, she thinks she's manipulative. She puts on and she plays victim. And she's like, what? Like, how am I manipulative? How do I play victim? Like, what are you talking about? And so then she's like, you play victim like in your marriage with Brandon. And then she's like, my husband, I can play victim and play whatever I want with my husband. Now, I have to agree with Christina on that. If she got to play victim with her man to get what she wants, that's her business. Like, we can't be up in their marriage like that. If she got to play victim sometimes, she got to play victim sometime. Okay. So that, like, give an example outside their marriage. And then Christina went on this whole thing about, I hate when women say that to each other, especially when they're married. Like, how am I playing victim in my marriage? And Brandon piped up talking about, well, she was the victim. She was the victim. She was put through some things. And I'm like, okay, we got it. And so then she was like, I just hate when people do that to each other. Women do that to each other. And I was like, that's where she playing victim right there. She plays victim, but not in the, Dr. Toya wasn't really explaining it well and manipulates like the whole Brittany Brown thing that was fuzzy, which we hopefully get that cleared up next episode. But anyway, I don't. Dr. Latoya doesn't have a real reason to hate Christina, though. I will say that. So she was like, well, how do I play victim? How do I play victim? And so Dr. Toy was like, okay, girl, it's fine. And so then so somehow they got to the Russell thing and Brandon, and Russell was saying how he don't bring a lot of people in his family, so he misses the times. I think it started because Brandon piped up in the middle of the argument, and then he start faking up some tears, conjuring them up. I don't know where the emotion was coming from. And he was like, I watched back the first episode, and and I saw the part where I hugged Kobe and we all came together, and I was like, man, I just want that back. Like, how do we get back to that? And I was like, what what are you talking about? Why are you about to cry? Like, what's wrong with you? You and your wife are putting on a show, but we ain't mad at it. So y'all don't know what's doing something. I think Anthony trying to be everybody on mute because he got ate up real bad on social media, and he deserved it because he was coming at people like a little B word. But anyway, yeah, so he was saying like, the ball is in Russell and Kobe's court. He's extending, his apology and the olive branch. And then that's when Russell was saying, he don't, let too many people in his space. And, when the part with the Kobe cat happened, that really hurt him and all this stuff. And I was like, how? I'm like, how did that hurt you? But okay. And so then Carlos talking about, we're going to put God first. We're going to forgive because that's what the Bible say. And so Russell said he is ready to forgive. Kobe is not ready to forgive. And I think that's pretty much where it ended. And I think, Carlos was asking, are you ready to move on with friendship with them and all that? And that's pretty much where it cut off. But we're going to see what part 2 is giving. I'm so glad this show is ending. I think the week after next is going to be Love and Marriage Detroit again, right? So we're going to be on that. Not Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I hope will at least be entertaining because the trailer was given something. So hopefully it will be better than this Detroit nonsense. And where is DC? We are not getting DC. Let me get in the comments real quick. It was Ashley Miller. Okay, that's right. I watch her reviews too. Ashley Miller had the content creator numbers. JB said he tuned at the point. He tuned out. Okay. Yeah, point 1 was pointless. Part 1 was pointless. Oh, hey, Lisa. Yeah, part 1 was pointless. Definitely. But yeah, thank y'all for joining me. Comment down below, get in the chat. Any last thoughts on the reunion? Do you think part 2 will be better? Do you think they should get a season 2? Let me know if y'all think they should even get a season 2. I'll say my thoughts. Part 1 could have been better. I feel like they could have did 1 reunion and been done. We didn't need 2 parts. I feel like a lot of people are still holding back on the show. I feel like the stuff they're arguing about really ain't about nothing. It's a bunch of made up BS. If they came back for season 2, I would give it a chance. I would. But they're gonna have to do better. Like, we're gonna have to have some real drama. Maybe Bravo and Lakita can step it up a bit more. Where was Bravo and Lakita at? We didn't see them at all. Like, where was they at? Shayna said no for the season 2. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And I heard their numbers were not good. But whose numbers are good these days with reality TV? But they gonna definitely have to do better for season 2. Like, we need some real stuff. We need some real stuff. Like, I know a lot of people said Love and Marriage DC was kind of boring to them, but I liked it because they had real stuff. Like I felt like the stuff with the Tylers and their son Jamie and Jason and all that stuff. I feel like that was real. I feel like Ashley's stuff with her mom and her book and stuff she went through, and DJ Quick's stuff where he don't want to stop working because of his health and all that. Like I feel like at least it was real and you can kind of connect to it. I don't feel like when I don't like shows where we're trying to grasp for straws and make up whatever we can make up. Like Real Housewives of Atlanta season was kind of giving this season, like just giving nothing. Like at least have some real stuff going on. Like that's what we want to see. But that's just my opinion. But I'll be back for we'll do another live for the part two and be glad to wrap this show up. But yeah, if they come back for season two, I'll give it a shot and I'll do the reviews or whatever. But they're gonna definitely need to do more, or I'm gonna tap out because now we got 3 Love and Marriage franchises to do. It's too much. So they gotta all be top tier and worth it, or we don't need to waste our time. It's my opinion. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. How long was we even on here? It wasn't too bad. 37 minutes or so. That wasn't too bad. But I appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody who's gonna be in the comments. I appreciate y'all coming through. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.